Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Ephemeral Orb, the TTRPG series that we're doing. Usual reminder before we go into the players presenting themselves and the recap, etc, etc. This episode, dear viewers, as you can see, is on Skoll Shorties channel. The next episode will be posted on Sir Farmshire's channel. The following episode will be posted on my channel, Teeironor. And then we will continue rotating, and you can find all of our links in the description to keep up with this. Now, I should also mention, in case people missed it, that the very first episode of the machinima version of our series has been posted by Sir Farmshire, who animated it and all that, and we all recommended you check it out, in regards to that. But otherwise, before we get into the recap and the actual episode, I would like to have our players, as usual, introduce themselves, talk about their characters, etc, etc. So, again, as usual, going in alphabetical order, DoomGoblin, could you please go ahead?
Yeah. Hello, I'm DoomGoblin, and I'm playing a pirate captain, a dwarf pirate, Captain Bladebeard, who's a fan of lying to people and making enemies, I guess.
Very much so, very much so. Next would be Sir Farmshire.
I am something. Fuck.
I'm leaving that in.
Okay. Okay, we're starting off well. I'm Sir Thompshire, and I'm playing Benjamin Aaran, and it's just the crew's local sellsword, I guess. And the thing he's definitely not a fan of is Captain Bladebeard.
Oh, I'm sure you'll grow to be best buds by the end of the campaign. And speaking of buds, Skoll, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello. I am the first mate Buhd, the lovable pirate ogre, who is unfortunately second to Captain Bladebeard. But Buhd loves everyone, so he doesn't have hatred in his ogre heart. For the most part.
We shall see. Now, to sort of change things a little bit for our viewers, from now on we're going to be going ahead with pre-scripted recaps just to make things easier and simpler to understand. So, after Captain Bladebeard and Shallan accidentally teleported themselves into the tower of Lord Roswell of Westfall, Benjamin Aaran's former contractor, our dear pirate found himself subject to interrogation by the nobleman's underlings. As his comrades back on Golden Skoll tried to figure out a rescue plan, Bladebeard wound up telling his interrogators almost everything they wanted to know, with some small exceptions. In a surprisingly successful gambit to escape captivity, Captain Bladebeard agreed to become an agent of Lord Roswell in his search for the Ephemeral Orb, with an additional bonus promised for the heads of the nobleman's former operatives. Lord Roswell's mage then placed a tracker on Captain Bladebeard and on Shallan, gave them a hearthstone and a distress beacon, and teleported them back to Golden Skoll, where our pirate immediately decided to renege upon his contract. Meanwhile, Benjamin Aaran, First Mate Buhd, and Archmage Meridia were unable to make a breakthrough in their plans, especially as the ship's captain, Kairi Gosa, was, quote, busy. After uncovering more details about Lord Roswell from the Pandaren Sema and the former Defias Hergen, the trio then spent their time unsuccessfully trying to repair their last remaining hearthstone, accidentally destroyed by the Archmage. As the group then reunited after Bladebeard's return, they then freed Sema the Pandaren, or well, mostly he freed himself, after learning that Lord Roswell planned to have him killed alongside his other operatives. This news, however, has still not been revealed to their orc prisoner, Tayu, who is even now, late at night, terrorizing her guards and her fellow prisoner, the goblin Skimmy the Weasel. So, to set the scene of last time where we left off, the reunion just happened and pretty much you all agreed that you were very tired and that you should go to bed. Scene, if you guys want to say anything, it's basically the three of you plus the Archmage and Shallan, whom I forgot to put on screen, and I will promptly do so.
Before we start, I just want to point out something. There was a big mistake in the recap. You said First Mate Buhd instead of Captain Buhd, but yeah.
Interim Captain Buhd, what can I say? Well, yeah, interim captain, but Bladebeard was not dead, so I reserve the right to not call that a mistake, but sure.
I'll call it a mistake.
Duly noted. But yeah.
I mean, Captain Buhd is a very fitting title.
We'll see. Who knows what can happen in the future. But yeah. As I mentioned, you guys basically reunited themselves. Also, the Archmage accidentally threw a frostbolt at you, Bladebeard, but you managed to dodge that. Forgot to mention that. And you all basically agreed that you were very tired. It's about 11 p.m. at night at the moment. And that you should like discuss your plans more so in the morning. But obviously it's up to you if you want to like change that, do something else, etc., etc. It's your guys' scene at the moment.
Alright, I would like to go to sleep unless other members of the party have something in mind.
I think it's a good time for everyone to go to sleep. But before that, I turn to Meridian and say, if you have some time tomorrow, I have something I need to discuss with you.
The Archmage will sigh and say, well, where else am I going to go?
Well, hopefully get out of this island, but we'll see.
By the way, before Bladebeard rejoined you, you guys were busy trying to reassemble the Hearthstone that Meridia accidentally broke. You were not successful in that attempt, but I imagine you guys like gathered all the pieces. What do you guys want to do with that?
I don't know, I probably gave them to Meridia since she's the expert, I guess, even though she kind of broke it in the first place.
She sighs and shoots you an embarrassed look as you give her the shards.
Nap time.
Okay. You guys are entirely free to go to sleep. By the way, I'll remove that if you guys want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been a long day.
Very much so. This day has been, I don't know, 5 sessions. I have stopped counting by now. As you guys go to sleep and sleep overtakes you, yeah, nothing happens to like stop you from going to sleep or anything else. But you guys are going to have a dream. Someone who is going to visit you. Now, usual rules for when this stuff happens. You guys are entirely free to wake up at any point. But if the person who is giving you these visions does not want you to wake up, you might have to roll an opposing check on that note. Now, you once again, the three of you, find yourselves in this clouded environment that you probably have been in before and remember. What do you guys do?
It's only 3 of us, or?
Just the three of you.
Alright.
Oh,
You hear the rumbling of thunder, but for the moment you see nobody.
This is gonna be good.
Oi,
I'll try to.
Django, where are you?
You hear more rumbling of thunder, and suddenly in front of you, you will see the expected figure that you expected to see, who sort of cross his arms in front of you and say, "I be not yours to summon, dwarf."
Oh, come on. I literally told myself, I'll do a post tomorrow. He probably won't show up.
Yeah. He looks at you, sort of glares at each and every one of you, and says, "It been 5 days since we last talked. The demons are approaching. What have you accomplished?"
Well, I got rid of that darkness thing.
You see the law sort of float to you and sort of examine you up close, and then he will retreat with what you perceive as almost a satisfied look as he says, "Indeed. But we do have other matters on hand. So what have you managed to accomplish?"
Did we kill Kraken before he show up last time?
I think so.
Although I guess Bud more chase off Kraken, not kill Kraken, but Bud still scare Kraken, so that's something.
Well, the pirate captains have agreed to, liberate Booty Bay and the jungle, but they are still preparing for the fight.
You hear the rumbling of thunder in the background as Shango crosses his arms, and you see a look of displeasure on his face. And he'll say, "The demons affect us all. And you be standing here doing nothing, basically."
Well, Bud say no to a demon with wings, and Bud also chase him off. Not a chasing off, but notice.
The Loa turns his head, somewhat interested towards you, but you also detect a hint of boredom in his look.
There's a hint of boredom in Bladebeard's look.
Did Buhd end up telling us about the Dreadlord?
I think he did.
Yeah, he did, but he didn't exactly go in detail, yeah.
Yeah, a lot was happening at the time, but never really got to talk like specifics.
Yeah. The law will shake his head and he will say, "The demons will reach Zolgorob in 2 weeks." Above board, Bladebeard, just so you know, and Buhd actually from the captain's meeting, Golden Skull has enough supplies, hypothetically if you guys decide to stay on Golden Skull, it has enough supplies left for 1 week. And it will take you, say, 4 to 5 days to reach Booty Bay. Make sense?
Yeah, alright.
Yeah. So the law will say the demons will reach Zolgorob in 2 weeks. The tribe be fighting retreat to slow them down, but we cannot do it alone. I do not know what you did, but the orcs, goblins, the horde, I think you call it, you really stirred up a hornet's nest with your arrival there. Their ships be prowling the sea looking for you.
Oh, they mad at Bud.
The law will... You hear rumbling of thunder in the background, and you'll see an irritated look on the law's face, and he will say, instead of preparing to face the demons, they look for you. They sent 5 ships. 2 have disappeared, but there are 3 ships looking for you, though they don't seem to know where you are. I could visit them in their dreams, tell them where they are, Maybe if they hurry up, they can come and help us with the demons.
But I think they're more interested in killing us and human people than demons.
He will snort angrily. He will say, "Mortals are so fickle. So what do you plan to do now? How do you plan to liberate the jungle and kill the demons? Time be short."
Bud smash demons? That Bud's plan.
As this sort of awkward silence ensues, the Loa will growl in frustration and he will say, "I gave you some information to work with. Now, help us against the demons before it be too late. What more can I say?" And unless you guys have something else to say, the dream will actually end because this conversation is not productive.
Yeah, we are doing the best we can.
That'd be what
See ya
scares
soon.
me. Okay. So, at this point, yeah, the dream will end. Unless you guys want to like stop Shango and talk to him before that happens.
It doesn't look that way.
Pretty much. Okay.
By the way, I posted this model in our Discord.
Yeah, but I can't show that while recording.
I'm just telling DoomGoblin and Skoll.
Yeah. So, you guys have learned some new pieces of information that may or may not be useful, since the approach of the pirate captains was still, hey, let's go find out some more information about what everyone else is doing before we decide to act. But the law is still frustrated at you.
Oh well, bureaucracy.
Sure. And I give you the option if you want to like wake up in the middle of the night and do something, but otherwise you guys are free to sleep until morning undisturbed.
Yeah, I think we all need a full night's rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds agreeable, I suppose. Yeah, you guys then wake up the next morning. In the previous sessions, Bladebeard and Buhd were sleeping sort of in proximity to each other, and Benjamin was farther away. I'm not sure if that has changed, but you guys are free to decide where are you sleeping, etc, etc. Just do keep in mind that there are no longer as many like free hammocks and spaces because the ship now has a full crew complement again.
Yeah. Well, I guess Bud and Bladebeard are sleeping pretty closely. I don't know about Benjamin.
Yeah, I don't think I'm intimate enough with either to cuddle with them at night, so I think it's a pass.
Bud is sleeping on a pile of flour or something.
If Nozaga were to see you do that, he would try to shoo you off. I'm going to roll a d20 to see if Nozaga sees you. 10 or above is he does. No, 11 or above is he does. 10 or below is he doesn't. Okay, so he does see you, and in the morning, I suppose, you will be waken up by your favorite cook, who sees you sleeping on a sack of flour, and desperately shakes you awake. "Oi, big one, get off, get off. I can't be using that if you'll be sleeping on it. Get off, sweaty beast."
Is it morning already?
He frantically pushes and kicks at you to get you to move.
The hammocks were taken.
Oh, you stupid man, now I can't be using that. What am I gonna be doing with this sack of flour?
Just clean it with water.
Ah, how about I shove it down your throat next time you do something like that? No more free heads for you.
Oh, but not supposed to eat those anyways.
And Bladebeard, if you would be waking up, you would have clearly heard Nazaga say no more free heads for you.
Yeah, I believe that I know, or at least I assume that he was cooking people, right?
You knew that Buhd was eating heads aboard the ship, but you didn't know where they came from.
Yeah, I also had a talk with the troll, with Buhd and him, and
Oh yeah,
I
maybe.
believe I had to roll careful to see if I noticed something, and I did. If I remember correctly.
I think he tried to lie to you about his cuisine, and you realized that he was lying, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah, so maybe this conversation like filled in the gaps for you.
I look disgusted.
Nazaga tries to take the sack of flour. Buhd, are you still on it?
Oh no, but rolled off of it after getting smacked up a bit.
Yeah, he takes it and walks away with it, muttering angrily all the while.
No, Bud's full. You need more beds.
Well,
Go ahead.
We don't need beds anymore. We are awake. The whole day is
Oh.
in front of us.
Well, we needed beds before, and he angry before, so yeah.
The commotion
Don't
has
worry
also,
about him.
I was just going to say the commotion has also started waking up some of the other surrounding members of the crew.
Alright, Bud, we have work to do, so come with me.
Okay, that sound good to Bud.
Would you help me find like a bag? I need it for something.
A bag?
Yeah, like a large bag for like I don't know, like 4 heads.
Oh. Bud can use the sack we use for the one goblin.
Yeah, but isn't that bag already filled with skulls?
Yes.
Is there still room for like I believe 3 ogre heads and 1 troll head?
Probably.
Alright.
We could check, we could try.
I should mention, just above board, there would probably be room because when you put the weasel in there and smacked him around, some of the skulls also broke and like made room that way. But the bag also has some holes in it because you made breathing holes for the weasel.
Oh look, you have puzzle skulls. You can piece them together.
Oh man. Bud was not wanting that.
Well, I guess if we have a bag, just let's go. Follow me.
But Bud doesn't want skulls to be broken.
We'll find more skulls.
Probably. They all over the place like flowers.
Benjamin, you are also free to wake up at any point.
I'll let them finish their conversation, I guess.
Oh, I would like to go to the corpses of the 2 ogres and the forest troll.
And Buhd would be following you, I presume.
Yep.
It would be like a 10 to 15 minute journey from your ship. As you exit the underside of the ship, the bottom deck rather, you will see the crew slowly waking up and getting to their typical activities, though not much activities going on because the ship is in port. And you will see a grumbling Nazaga preparing to cook today's breakfast. It's early in the morning, like say 6, 7 a.m., something around that. And yeah, I can continue describing the scenery as you walk to the place where the bodies are, and feel free to stop me at any point if you want to do something in the meanwhile, okay?
Right.
Okay, so yeah, you exit the bottom of the ship, and yeah, you see activity going all around. Vera, the undead security officer, is in charge at the moment. You sort of saw from the murder mystery episodes that she has charge over the night shift. As you leave the ship and go into the island, you will not be opposed. You see many of the local grifters waking up as well, doing their usual meandering about. You do see a bit of a crowd gathering around your ship. Well, I shouldn't say gathering as in like they're going there, rather they just decided to sleep nearby in the desperate hope that your ship will take them off and liberate them from their present squalor. Yeah, nobody really bothers you as you go, and eventually you reach the site of you remember where it would be, Bladebeard, correct? Even though it was not.
Yeah, I was teleported there, right?
Yeah. You reach the site of Benjamin's battle with and Buhd's etc. Battle of the kidnappers, and you find the increasingly decaying corpses of the forest troll and 2 ogres and the blood on the sand. Nobody seems to be eager to clean that up, unsurprisingly.
Alright, bud. Off with their heads.
Are we killing them again?
No, just cut off their heads and put them in the bag.
Yeah, why are we doing that?
Don't worry. Just put the heads in the bag.
Are you collecting heads now too?
No, but a friend of mine is.
A friend sounds weird.
Do you guys proceed to cut off these guys' heads?
Yep,
Yeah.
Bud's doing that.
Okay.
Is there also a spider corpse?
Yeah, there would be.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess I take his head as well.
Sure. The heads of the 2-headed ogre will be a bit difficult to collect because Buhd killed that 2-headed ogre by smashing his heads in.
You know, I are they still in one piece?
Definitely not in one piece. Feel free to sift through the gore to pick up recognizable pieces if that's what you want to do.
Oh man.
Oh, you would
He
also
may be-
you would also see. Sorry, just a minor detail. You would also see that much of their armor is missing at the moment. Presumably, they were looted during the night.
Yeah. The 2-headed ogre, does he have any unique looking tattoos or something on his skin?
I need to look at his model again. I'll put him on screen and we'll check that way. Where are you? There you are. This is how he looked like. If you can see him on screen.
Yeah, I can.
Well, with the
And-
2 heads smashed in, obviously, and a bunch of bruises and cuts all over his body.
Well, I guess we are not going to take this one's heads, but take the one-headed ogre and the troll.
If you guys decide to do that, you successfully do so. No like rolls required.
All right. Also the spider.
Sure.
Maybe you could take their horns if they're still intact, I guess.
Let's actually leave that up to fate. I'm going to roll a d20. The higher the roll, the more like recognizable the heads would be, and the lower, obviously, less recognizable.
All right.
There's barely any intact pieces. You would really have to go like looking and brainstorming to, no pun intended, to like get something that would say, oh yeah, this was the Ogre Sanuk. From the heads,
Well-
at least.
Yeah. But the 2 other heads are fine. The troll and the other ogre.
If by fine you mean intact, then yes.
Yeah.
They are
Alright, but-
slightly decaying, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. What should I take from the 2-headed one?
Do you,
Nothing
need,
unique on him?
do you need me to put his model on screen again?
No. I'm just thinking. Maybe. I guess. Just scoop up what's left of his heads and put it in the bag.
I will mention that his arms have tattoos on them, but they will obviously be... They will probably not fit in the bag.
Oh. Well, I can just, skin. I can just cut off a piece of his skin with a tattoo. Right? I can flake him.
You most certainly can if you can stomach it, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know, obviously Captain Bladebeard's been through a lot through his lifetime, but I'm not sure if mutilating cadavers is part of his backstory, but sure.
Yeah, didn't he puke when he saw the heads?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that
Well,
was also more of a shock, to be fair.
All of this I'm commanding, or I guess, yeah, I'm commanding Buhd to do all that.
Would Buhd be
Like,
doing that then?
Yeah, cut the piece of his tattoo and also put it in a bag.
Okay.
The best first mate, sure. Yeah, Buhd, you successfully cut a bloody, rotting, slightly messy piece of flesh. I would like to offer you a compel, Buhd. Oh, I also forgot to refresh Bladebeard's fate points, and I will do that right now. But I would like to offer a compel, Buhd.
Okay.
Your former warlord with amnesia, specifically the former warlord and that you're an ogre part, you're feeling a bit hungry. You just cut out a piece of flesh and your stomach's rumbling. Do you accept this compel?
Ah, man. I was trying to make Buhd do gross things, and I'm like, all right, people want Buhd to stop doing that. I'll try to push Buhd not to. All right. Buhd's going for a punch.
Okay, here's your fate point. Bladebeard, if you're paying attention, you will see Buhd, instead of like bringing you the tattoo on the ogre's arm, he starts eating it.
No. No, Bud. You can eat any other part. Just no. Oh
The
man.
amount of cannibalism is worrying me.
Just
But hungry.
eat his. Oh man. Whatever. Whatever.
I mean, he has another arm, I guess.
True.
He does.
He does have another arm.
But I'm open to compelling Bud again.
Oh my god.
All right, Bud. Now just cut the tattoo from the other arm, and don't eat this one, please.
Oh, okay, but not eat that arm.
But I'm offering you the same compel. What do? Do you accept?
On one hand, it gives me more fate points. On the other, it messes with Bladebeard. I'm going for it.
Do it. Yeah, do it.
Okay. Yeah. Here is another fate point.
But goes for another munch because he's hungry.
No, Bud. What's wrong with you?
Bud's really hungry.
There's a whole ogre in front of you. I just
but
needed
Bud
that
chopping
one
this
part.
off. It's easier.
Oh.
So we collecting heads, not arms.
Alright, just give me the bag before you eat the heads.
Okay. Here you go. Pretty heavy.
Yeah. Oh, well, Bladebeard, I think you've picked up this bag before. It's not as heavy as before because, like, the skulls don't have their flesh attached to them. Some of them are also in pieces. But, yeah, there are 2 extra heads in it. Yeah.
Including
free
the
if you want.
spider one.
Yeah, free with the spider, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm... Never mind. Yeah, I take the bag and I put it, like, on my shoulder. Over my shoulder.
Yeah, yeah,
Like a Santa Claus.
yeah.
And I'm going to say to Bud, alright Bud, see you in a moment. And I'm going to activate the Hearthstone.
Not again.
Where you what?
But you have,
Where
like,
you,
you have time to react before Bladebeard teleports away. You see him pull out the magical stone that you know has teleportation properties, and he starts using it. You have time to react.
where you going?
Don't worry, I'll be back soon.
Well, we gotta do things.
Yeah, I'll be back in a moment. I'm just gonna deliver these heads to the friend I mentioned.
Bladebeard, if you have been, like, focusing on the Hearthstone, you would have teleported away.
Alright. Great.
If you have been focusing on the Hearthstone while you were still talking.
Yeah.
Bud gotta go tell friends. that
I
Bladebeard
think it'd be funnier if he was cut off mid sentence.
Yeah, yeah, probably. Okay. Let's see how this resolves with Lord Roswell.
Oh, or we can go with what Benjamin is doing, or... actually,
Bud's
whatever.
to
going
you
to
guys.
race off to go find Benjamin.
Up to
Yeah,
you.
maybe to take a break from Bladebeard and God, I guess.
Okay, then we can have a scene with Benjamin before we resolve Bladebeard's thing. Yeah, Benjamin, you presumably wake up. I don't think you mentioned that you're not next to Bud. Yeah, to Bud and Bladebeard, where they were sleeping. Yeah, you wake up. You see the crew also start getting up, the day shift that is, and start going to their duties. Again, not very diligently because they are still in port. But yeah.
I slowly get up from wherever I was sleeping. Probably not a bed since the or a hammock for that matter, since the new group probably took it all over. So I slowly get up and go and try to find myself something to snack on. Do I still have my bread? I do, don't I?
Yeah,
I think it would be a good moment to have my first taste.
where would you have been keeping it?
Probably in my bag, I guess.
Okay, then yeah, if you open your bag, you find the rest of your bread. Slightly, you know how like very fresh bread also has that like crunchy freshness. This one is obviously a day old. It's not quite as fresh, but it's still good.
Yeah. I take like half of it and eat it, I guess.
In spite of like it being not 100% fresh, it's still one of the best things, well, best breads you've ever tasted.
I just stand there alone with my mouth open wide for a few moments, and then I just get back to reality and put the rest in my bag and go off and try to find the Meridian.
Would you know where she is sleeping? She wouldn't have told you.
Yeah, I wouldn't probably, but with all the movement, I'd probably assume she'd waken up by now.
Yeah, roll for me a careful difficulty 4 because now the ship is very crowded. And there's lots of activities going on. Okay, yeah, you do eventually stumble upon Meridia. Let me add her on screen, who is making her way upstairs after waking up herself. She does not notice you at first.
I tap her shoulder.
She startles and turns around and sees, oh, good morning.
As I said yesterday, I need to talk with you. Do you have a few moments?
Not like I have anything else to do, as I also mentioned yesterday. Is this a private conversation or...
Well, somewhat, but no need for
She's basically asking you if you need to like go somewhere where it's only the two of you.
yeah, probably, but not like somewhere like super soundproof or something.
She'll sigh and say, the usual room where we kept interrogating the Pandaren.
Yeah, I guess we've made some memories there.
She will roll her eyes. Oh yeah, do you proceed to go there?
Yeah.
Okay. As you enter the room, let me pull the thing. You see this gentleman sleeping face first in the ground.
I proceed to face palm.
He is snoring loudly and does not like react to your approach.
Well, maybe we should find another spot, even though I'm pretty sure he won't wake up, since he probably hasn't slept in however long it's been.
Whatever you say. Where next? The prisoner's quarters? She says sarcastically.
I can just go, yeah, no.
She at first motions to you to lead the way and then like shakes her head and says, you know what, I can just teleport us somewhere else. You decide.
Well, go ahead.
Okay. Then she will teleport you, if you look at the map, like atop this cliff, let's say, where I pinged. one of the places where I pinged.
So it's kind of an inaccessible place, I guess.
Definitely inaccessible by anyone else, but also visible if people decide to look up.
Yeah.
She will proceed to sit down. She'll say, "Careful how you sit. Might be slippery."
I slowly sit down and just take a big sigh and say, I think I owe you some honesty after all this. About everything in the last couple of weeks.
A novel approach.
Thank you, I guess.
Both I, the DM, and she will say sorry.
Okay. So, to start from the beginning, as you know, I was hired by Lord Roswell. And, well, as you might imagine, his reward from breaking in the orb was quite large, let's say. So,
Just very sorry to interrupt you, Farmshire, but just something I wanted to ask you. Please remind me, remember, when the Pandaren first talked to you, you gave him the gold Roswell gave you. What happened to that gold since then? Is it still with the Pandaren? Do you have it?
I think it was in like that belongings bag.
Okay, then yeah, okay, with the prisoner's belongings, fair enough. Okay, she nods at you as you say that.
And honestly, seeing all that money, I just thought, maybe I can just lay down for a bit, put my sword down for a good while after what it honestly feels like ages. So I just didn't ask any questions, really. I just went on my merry way to Buhd to get this artifact thing, and all that goblin and heckle deal happened, and I just went through the path of least resistance, not even like caring about other people, and just. But then, seeing the actual orb and its power, it was kind of a wake-up call, you see. And well, it's just been a downhill ever since, I guess.
She will sigh and say, "As I mentioned during our dinner with Kyrie yesterday, the history of the human kingdoms is fraught with human mages." She emphasized that point, sort of saying, yeah, like you, of rogue human mages, unsanctioned by the Teeironor, causing trouble.
Well, I don't think this really has anything to do with me being a mage, but
Well, if you were just an ordinary lowlife, you probably would not have been able to do much.
well,
But I will admit, your presence and your assistance has been helpful, has furthered the ends of the good guys, I guess.
well, for what it's worth, and I'm sure it's not worth a lot, I really am sorry about everything that I've taken part of, and maybe not having done the thing I should have if I wasn't so eluded by that money and the opportunity of paying off my bounty and just resting for a while at least.
She will raise a hand and say, "I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
After all of this is over, as you know, I'm not entirely blameless myself. After all of this is over, I plan to turn myself into the Teeironor, and I plan to turn all of you, including Captain Bladebeard, First Mate Buhd, the monstrosity that captains the Moonsong's Folly, all of us into the Teeironor to face justice. Would you consent to that?"
Let me ask you a question myself. What would anyone gain out of that?
Justice would be served, and I would, for my transgressions, would be punished for my crimes. You, Bladebeard, Buhd, would be judged, punished or not. I'm one of the accused. I'm not the judge, jury, or executioner, so I cannot say what the verdict would be, though I plan to plead guilty myself. For myself, I should say.
Well, that's kind of an awkward question. And being honest with you, I don't really like the perspective of being hanged, so I'm really not sure about it. But again, you can give us the point that maybe if we save all this, that they wouldn't execute us, and maybe just give us a little pat on the back. But
If the Council of Six, in their wisdom, decide to let you go and, well, let all of us go free, then I would presume that they have made the wise decision. As I mentioned, that for myself, as well, I'm not innocent, so I cannot argue that you or Bladebeard or Buhd should be punished, or on the other hand that you should be spared. But for myself personally, I plan to argue for the hardest punishment available.
So much for second chances, I see.
If in spite of that the Teeironor agree to grant me a second chance, then I would bow to their wisdom and spend my life repenting. What I did was, frankly, unforgivable. But if the Teeironor decide to give me a second chance, I will abide by it.
Well, regardless of turning yourself in or not, if you do believe there is a second chance, with or without their approval, and if you believe that you are not the same person in a way that did all those things, should you really say such a thing?
She will sigh and say, from my point of view, what I did is unforgivable. But I will not make the mistake of casting judgment on what you did or what Bladebeard did or what Buhd did. I only plan to bring all of you in for judgment, as I plan to bring myself in. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that she will sigh heavily and say, again, from my point of view, my crimes are unforgivable.
Well, but I think it's an important point to remember that, well, some blame is indeed yours. I'd say the majority of it ends up falling to that knife or whatever it was.
And yet you managed to reject its offers. And I could not, despite all of my haughty speech, despite all my pretensions of being an archmage of the Teeironor.
Well,
I have shamed my title, Benjamin. By doing what I did, not only did I damn myself, I stained the immaculate image of the Teeironor.
Well, you do remember that eyeless goblin, don't you?
She will look at you and say, and she will shake her head and say, as I mentioned, I will not pass judgment on any of you. But that was very gruesome, you know that?
Well, it was not necessarily my point to have his eyes taken out by none other than himself, but well, as you may have noticed, the the bounty on my head has been a lot of trouble for me lately, in both getting jobs and just getting around in general. So when I saw the goblin that you know, crossed me over and having that knife whisper in my head that she could take care of him, you know. Sometimes the offer is just too good, and those weirdly sweet words just get to you, I guess.
If I may ask, what happened that you are now a wanted man in goblin settlements? And she sort of rolls her eyes at that as if, oh yeah, goblin settlements have the ultimate justice, blah blah blah.
Above board, did we end up discussing this or not?
No, we didn't. The only thing we established was that the goblin you blinded was responsible for it because he crossed you somehow. He betrayed you somehow.
I didn't think of this ahead. Give me like I don't know. Can you go over to
Yeah.
Bladebeard?
I was just about to suggest that. We can entirely do
I'll think
that.
of it for a bit.
We can go to Bladebeard, or we can go to Buhd being unable to find Benjamin or the Archmage. Whichever do you guys prefer?
Bud, do you want to try and search for Benjamin and Meridia?
I mean, I think that's what I was gonna go for, yeah.
Alright, let's do that first.
Okay, Buhd, you reach the ship, and after like 10 to 15 minutes of frantic searching, you are unable to find Benjamin or the Archmage.
Where'd they go? Maybe Bud ask people if they see them.
Who would you ask? The answers will vary depending on whomever you ask.
Bud will go aboard Kyrie's ship and ask random people.
Yeah,
John. Ask Johnny.
Oh, poor guy.
I don't know about Johnny, but definitely, just Kyrie, crew people.
Okay. The various like random NPCs that you ask, like those that don't have like an established name, would like shrug their shoulders because they have no idea who you're talking about. And if you describe those two, they will say, nope, haven't seen them. So unless you're looking for like someone specific, like a named NPC, I can't like help you.
I'm not very good with the names.
Well, there's Shallan for one. There's Vera the security chief, Johnny, Grunvask, the forest troll cook, the blood sale you just recruited, Kyrie herself, or Hergen the former Defias.
Bud will go ask Shallan, because Shallan and him are best pals.
You will find Shallan sort of, let me put him on the screen. You'll find Shallan sort of dangling with his feet from like the side of the ship, looking very happy and distracted as he usually does. You'll say, "Oh, greetings, Mr. First Mate." But as you look at him, you see that he is missing 2 of his fingers.
Oh, hi, Shalon. Have you seen Mage Lady and Benjamin?
Oh, no, I haven't, to be honest, but I did sense a bit of teleportation magic earlier.
Yeah, that probably Bladebeard. He used magic soap and he disappeared.
Oh no, why would he do that?
But not really sure. He take heads and he go with the heads to other place.
Well, Captain Bladebeard might be in serious trouble, you know.
Why is that?
Sean will sort of lift one of his arms and like lift up the sleeve, and you see an arm. Well, you're not experienced in magic, but you see like a weird arcane symbol on it. Sean will say, when we were there at the at I believe he was Lord Roswell, yeah, at Lord Roswell's estate, his mage placed trackers on all of us. The problem is, these are not just trackers that detect where you are, they also transmit whatever is heard around us.
Oh no.
What that mean?
Well, the captain said some very not nice things about the nobleman when we returned to the island. I didn't bring up that these things on our arms were also transmitters because, well, I never imagined that he would ever return there. But if he did, the captain is in big trouble.
No, this is horrible.
Blood acting captain again then.
Shalon salutes you.
We gotta find a small gnome lady then. This not good. Bladebeard in big trouble. Why he do this all the time? He gonna die one day.
Shalon will rise up and nod to you and say, which small gnome are we looking for? Oh, I met a gambler the other day. He looked very interesting. Maybe he learned some magic tricks?
She the nice gnome lady. Her name.
Oh, the nice gnome lady. Yes. Shalon will like frantically point at his arm as in don't say too much.
Right. Bud wasn't gonna say much anyways.
Yes. So let's meet this nice lady gambler. Yes?
She's... okay.
Shalon will wink at you.
Yes, we go see gambler.
Shalon will like motion to you to lead the way. Another question for you guys. Do we continue with Buhd or Bladebeard? Or Benjamin if he decided to come up with his answer.
Yeah, I think I have somewhat of an answer.
I leave it up to you guys.
Yeah, it's fine by me either way, so...
Yeah, we could go with Benjamin for a bit and then go to Bladebeard.
Yeah.
Okay. Then returning to the scene with the Archmage. Yeah, she asked you why were you like, wanted by Goblin Justice.
Well, long story short, there was this goblin that hired me to help escort some materials. I'm not really certain of what they were anymore, but essentially along the way, the carriage got ambushed by none other than the goblin's own men.
Another by what? I didn't hear that.
The goblin's own men.
Oh.
So, I kind of took the blame for taking all those possessions and selling them. But, in fact, it was the goblin that took them off his company, I guess, or whoever he worked for, and just sold them for himself. And I got all the blame, and here we are, Benjamin Aaran, the wanted man.
The Archmage will sigh and say, well, if it makes you feel any better, that goblin, considering you are wanted by the Steam Widow cartel, and that goblin was working for the... What's the name? What's the name of the Horde goblins? Bilgewater, the Bilgewater cartel. I presume that he was eventually found out one way or another.
Well, in a way, I do hope so, and in another, I'm kind of, he well, is kind of crazy right now, and I'm not too happy about that. But long story short, I got double crossed, and here we are.
The Archmage will sigh and say, well, if it makes you feel any better, one time when I was young, I stole one of my colleagues' pens, and I still feel ashamed about that.
Oh,
You do see like a look of sadness on the Archmage's face as she says that.
well, I'm sure it's okay. It's just a maybe pen.
She will frown and say, she's dead, and I can't apologize to her anymore.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm sure she will forgive such a simple thing.
The Archmage will sigh, and she will say, so, in response to your original query, Benjamin, yes, your apology is accepted, though, again, I'm not the one you should be apologizing to. I should also, again, apologize to you. But as I said, I also plan to take full responsibility for my actions after this whole demon debacle is over.
I think for now we should just focus on dealing with this whole demon thing, and then we'll talk again.
The Archmage will give you a nod and very surprising to you, a slight smile. And then she will say, oh, shall we teleport back?
I guess so.
Before I do that, do you know how to teleport?
I do not.
You'll see almost a mischievous smile go up on her face, and she'll say, then next time maybe I can teach you that instead of that damned dragon.
Well, I'll take that offer, actually.
She'll smile and say, maybe later today after breakfast, and then teleport both of you guys back. Now, above board, you would be teleported back like right after Buhd's conversation with Shallan, because Buhd also took time to go back to the ship, etc., etc. Usual question. Scene with Bladebeard or scene with you guys reuniting?
I guess we can go over to Bladebeard a bit.
Yeah, sure.
That makes sense to me. Okay. Bladebeard. Let me put the backgrounds, etc. on screen in a little bit. Yeah, you find yourself, unlike last time where you found yourself like right in the nobleman's throne room almost, now you find yourself in the entryway, like right in front of it. And you are meted by a few guardsmen who will tell you, Mr. Bladebeard, Lord Roswell has been expecting you. Please come with us.
Oh, alright. Lead the way.
Yeah. And they lead you into the throne room chamber, where you will be greeted by let me put them on screen. Well, first there's the Defias Mage Lady that you are familiar with, and also you will be, where is he? Well, Lord Roswell. I was just having trouble finding him. And Lord Roswell will give you a smile, Bladebeard, as you enter the room.
Alright. I'm going to say, ho ho ho! Great Father Winter, has arrived early this year,
Spare
and
me the
I'm
jokes, Dwarf. I was never one for your kind's humor. Why are you here?
I have brought 2 heads. 2 of your mercenaries are dead. Well, 3 are dead, but you see the two-headed ogre.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Before you even show me the contents of your bag, I'm going to make a wild assumption and say that those 2 have been dead for since yesterday, and you were unable to retrieve the heads of the two-headed ogre. And actually, when your ogre companion, Buhd, I believe, tried to retrieve a recognizable part from the two-headed ogre's corpse, he ate it instead. Am I correct so far?
How how are you correct? I mean, you are, but
You see the guardsmen around you unsheath their weapons, Bladebeard.
whoa. Have I done something wrong? See, the troll and the ogre. I throw the heads in front of him.
The nobleman ignores him. The masked mage next to him will say, "What I placed on you was not just a tracker, but also a transmitter. Everything you said and everything you heard, we also heard."
Oh, so you know that everything is going according to plan, right?
We know that, Lord Roswell says, we know that, to quote the illustrious pirate Captain Bladebeard, "I'm not working for no noble."
Yeah, that's what my allies think. I can't kill Benjamin and the teddy bear alone. You know, I'm playing a long game. You know, they trust me, but I'm actually
Then
I work.
Mr. Bladebeard, why did you come into my tower with the intent to deceive me? To extract some money from me? You should be ashamed of
No.
yourself.
No, I came here to prove to you that I'm still working for you. I need no money. I wasn't going to carry all those heads up with me. You know, when I collect them, I teleport, I bring them in, I teleport back. Right?
Mr. Bladebeard, I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The only reason we are going to keep you alive at the moment is because your friend, Shallan, I believe was his name, is right about this time calling for help, trying to get people to come rescue you, including, we hope, Benjamin Aaran. Associate here, he points to the mage next to him, are going to place a lure, I should say. And when they come, I'm going to slit your throat right in front of them, and then my men are going to take all of them and all of their heads. Is that understood?
No, I have a better plan. You know,
Seize him. And the guards rush you, Bladebeard. I will remind you that they have their weapons drawn and you do not.
oh man.
Why would you do this? Why would you do this to yourself?
No. Why didn't Shallan tell me that they can hear me?
As I mentioned, Shallan didn't tell you that because he didn't believe you would be stupid enough to try something like this.
Oh man. I should have.
Apparently, Shallan doesn't know how stupid Bladebeard is because Buhd's
Yeah.
apparently smarter than Bladebeard, which is scary.
Yeah. Well, this is in character. So yeah.
No, it's in character. It's just like, oh, my God, Bladebeard, you're gonna die.
On that note, it's also in character for Shallan to omit information, I guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, if Shallan mentioned it, the noble would have heard it, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah.
Then I wouldn't teleport back.
Fair enough.
But all right.
The noble would adapt his plans in a different way, yeah.
Alright, what do I do? They obviously don't believe me.
As I mentioned, you have like 4 guards jumping you. There are also more guards in the room. They plan to tie you up, basically, and then throw you into the prison. You do not have your weapons drawn.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to. I would like to continue talking, but I guess they are attacking me. So
You are free to talk, but like first you have to like respond, as in you, the player, respond to the fact that they are attempting to seize you and tie you up. But you are free to like talk during and after that.
yeah. Can I like run away from them to another corner of the room?
You
Or
are
climb up
you are
somewhere.
surrounded. I will allow you to roll a quick to get away, but it will be a difficult roll because you are surrounded. Okay.
All right.
Then roll your quick difficulty 4.
4, and my quick is +3. All right. So I need to get at least 1 roll.
4 DF +3 in your case.
Yeah. 2. A moment. So. Yeah, nothing really. I don't have any like aspect about running. So yeah, I guess
you are, as always with aspects, you are free to like bullshit about them, but I leave it up to you if you want to like allow yourself to. It's up to you.
Yeah, all right, I'll try. Let's see. I'm a pirate captain with no crew or ship is one of my aspects, and as a pirate captain, that means that I'm a thief, and I need to run a lot, and you know, I cannot be caught.
I accept that. I accept that.
All right.
Now
And I'll add +2, and that's a win, right?
Yeah,
I don't need to reroll.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Above board to Farmshire and Skoll. Again, during this time, it's very possible that Bladebeard might run out of fate points and be pushed into a situation where he like needs those fate points, and you can basically feed him your fate points by compelling him. Keep that in mind, basically. Bladebeard, you managed to escape for the moment, or to like get out of the grip of the guards, and you basically you're not surrounded anymore. What do you do? Depending on what you do, we might turn this into actual combat.
All right, I'm going to bullshit like always. I'm going to say, wait. If I'm planning to betray you, why would I return with the heads?
To squeeze money out of me, I presume, like the scoundrel that you are.
No. If I betrayed you, I wouldn't get 2,000 gold. I don't know what would you even give me for 2 heads. I'm still working for you. I swear on my honor.
Bladebeard, roll your sneaky, but I will roll his careful. And I will say that his careful is higher than yours.
His careful is great, yeah, I remember.
Let me find his
but I
careful
also have a stun. Alright, I have a...
If you want, you can use your stunt.
I have the deceiver. Can I roll first and then if I lose, use it, or do I have to...
If you roll, I will not allow you to use it for this lie, but you will be able to like use it, say you roll and you fail, and the noble says, "No, I don't believe you," then you are able to say something else and then use your stunt if you want. Make sense?
All right. I'll roll first.
Okay.
So +4, 7.
Very nice.
Pretty good. Yeah, I won.
But I will use one of his aspects and use one of my last remaining fate point to boost me up to an 8. Also above board
I'm
information.
going to.
Above board information for everyone. I am out of fate points at the moment, which means that if Bladebeard discovers these NPCs aspects and you compel them, I'm obligated to accept.
Oh yeah.
Something to keep in mind. So, Bladebeard.
So he has 8.
Yep,
He's at 8. All right.
correct.
You see, as a pirate captain, I need to lie a lot. You know, when I go into some kind of town that's not a goblin town or some lawful town, I need to use a fake name and fake
Sure.
information.
And do you use that to give yourself +2 or to reroll?
To give myself +2.
Okay. Then you beat him. Yeah, the nobleman seems to believe you for now, but says, "Captain Bladebeard, surely you understand that I need guarantees of your loyalty. As you have quite clearly proven, your loyalty is a very fickle thing. What guarantees can you provide me?"
Well,
You're able to, by the way, while you talk, you're also able to look for aspects or create advantages, etc., etc.
sure. Let's say, I would like to learn one of Lord Roswell's aspects by, I don't know, looking around his room and him.
Then roll for me your careful. I'm not going to roll to oppose you. I will just have you roll careful. If you get, it's difficulty 2 to learn his high concept, but it will be difficulty 6 to learn something more interesting. Okay.
All right. 4. So, let's say I use my final fate point to invoke my aspect. I can't read books, but I can read people.
Yeah. If you want, you can
To
do
get that to 6.
If you want, you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that.
Okay. This guy's, I'll give you his trouble. Let me put it in black, etc. Lord Roswell. Bladebeard. Basically, you notice whenever he is looking at you and talking to you, that he is blind in his right eye.
All right.
And you get a free invoke on that. And if you can think of a way to compel that, well, anyone else, you are out of fate points, but yeah.
What is
Yeah.
this monocle then for?
To hide that fact.
Fair enough.
I should also mention, Bladebeard, this is a lesser known thing. You are also able to compel yourself to generate a fate point for yourself. Basically say, I'm going to do something unfavorable to myself, and that provides me with a fate point, if you can think of a way. But again, up to you.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I realized that he's blind on his right eye.
Yep.
Very useful. All right.
In melee combat
Okay.
with him, it would be very useful.
Yeah. So he asks, what can I do to prove my my
Guarantees, yeah.
loyalty?
Yeah.
Guarantee, yeah. All right. What can I do?
But he believes you that he believes your lie that yeah, you're on his side, but he needs guarantees.
All right. I kind of had a plan that I was going to tell you when I arrived. So
Do you
I
say
guess
this in character?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a plan that you might like. That could be kind of a guarantee that I'm on your side. Your can your wizard woman, can she teleport on like moving objects? Can she, for example, teleport herself on a ship? If I like described what ship looks like.
She will sneer at you, the mage woman, and she will say, "I do not need a description of what it looks like. I need precise coordinates."
Oh, all right. That plan won't work. Guarantee. Well, I. You said that you can hear everything I say, right?
And everything your elf friend says.
All right. Isn't that guarantee enough?
He will say, "Well, what you've been saying so far, when you didn't know that, was made us very distrustful of you, Captain Bladebeard. So no, I would not say that that is guarantee enough."
Well, obviously I was lying to my allies. I was lying to Benjamin and Tima.
You were also lying to your elf friend who was here with us.
Yeah, he's a sort of a good guy. He wouldn't understand what we are doing.
Then I propose that the guarantee...
I care. Listen, this is your guarantee. I care about money. I don't care about them. I'm a pirate. Isn't that obvious?
The nobleman will motion to give a hand signal to the guards, who once again proceed to surround you, but not like jump you. And one of them approaches you. Do you allow him?
Yeah, sure.
He will begin to like pat you down and search you. Do you allow this?
Sure.
And he will take the 50 gold the nobleman gave you and take it out.
Why are you taking my gold? I earned them. I brought you the heads.
You said that gold would be your guarantee, Captain Bladebeard.
Yeah.
I also have another proposal. Our original plan, as I mentioned, my associate can place a magical lure that will lure your companions here. Change of plan, we're not going to slit your throat, but we're going to take their heads instead when they arrive.
But they are very far away.
The Lord will chuckle and say, "Well, as you so very generously, unintentionally told us, you do have capable spellcasters on that ship. I'm sure they will find a way."
Do we? I mean, if you heard everything that was said, I believe that one of them exploded a heartstone while she was trying to see what it does.
You will see the masked mage chuckle when you say that, as if, haha, that incompetent.
Yeah, you see, Meridia is she's a mage, but she's also an idiot. She doesn't know how to do anything.
The nobleman will turn to his mage, and the mage will say, "The lure we're going to place will make it so that even one as incapable as her would be able to find her way here. Well, to a place of our choosing, I should say. Is this agreeable? Says the noble.
Oh, so you want to, like, you want them to come rescue me, and then we set a trap for them?
In short, yes.
Or, I mean, that could work, but yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't understand magics, but they can't teleport that far.
The nobleman and the mage will sigh in frustration, and the mage will say, and as I said to you, I can make a way for them to teleport that far. Magic stuff, you don't need to worry your stupid little head over it.
Yeah, wouldn't it be easier for us to teleport to them? You know?
Well, from what we heard from you, there's a crew of several hundred there, plus a whole island filled with pirates. We will be at quite a disadvantage.
Yeah, I can bring them to a part of an island part of the island that's not populated.
Not going to work.
Why not?
Because we also have a transmitter on your friend who is right now seeking help for the fact that you were kidnapped. What would he think when you suddenly return and say, "Oh, everyone, come with me to this part of the island," knowing that you were kidnapped and that the mark tells us whatever you know.
Come on, trust me. I can.
I do not trust
they,
you,
they
Captain
trust me.
Bladebeard.
Fine. So, you want them to get teleported here?
And afterwards, we'll send you on your way to get the orb that was promised. Though only the 500 gold reward this time, which I'm sure you will find is acceptable enough.
Sure. Fine. I mean, I apparently can't convince you. So do your magical thing.
In due time, we do need to set the trap first. Until then, you will be kept alive and sufficiently well taken care of, I suppose. Lord Roswell will once again give a hand motion to his guards. They approach. Go ahead.
Am I going back to the dungeon?
Of course.
Why? Come on. I'm on your side. I can help you with the trap.
We shall have definite proof of whether or not you would be on our side when the trap is sprung. Do take comfort in the fact that my former associates, Tayu, Rumadoki, Sano, Korobi, all slept in the same quarters as you.
Oh, really?
He will once again make a gesture for the guards to apprehend you to take you to the dungeons.
Oh man. I want to do something really stupid, but I let myself be taken.
Care to share?
Oh, no, because then someone will compel me to do that. Actually, yeah, I was planning to take the nobleman as a hostage, or try to.
Emphasis on try to.
Yeah, but never mind.
Well, I cannot compel you, but you can compel yourself, and
Oh yeah.
and your companions can also compel you if they decide to do that.
Yeah, I don't think I want to kill Bladebeard.
I'll let myself get
Okay,
imprisoned.
up to you. Okay.
Yeah, I surrender.
You will be taken to the dungeon. Now, unless you like do something while you are taken there, I would propose that we move the scene back to Buhd, Benjamin, etc.
Yeah.
Okay. Fun session so far, guys. I was not expecting that the surprise would be sprung this early. What can I say? So returning to like the scene on the Moonsong's Folly, Shallan and Buhd, you guys are walking to like talk to Kyrie, when suddenly Benjamin and the Archmage teleport aboard the ship. The Archmage is uncharacteristically smiling, and Benjamin, I presume, well, feel free to describe whatever the look on your face is.
I guess it would just be mainly a look of relief having gotten all of that out of my chest.
Yeah, kind of what I imagined, but yeah. So you see Buhd and Shallan sees you guys, and you guys see Buhd and Shallan.
Oh, there you guys are.
But as Bladebeard not with you?
Oh, big time.
Shallan will raise both of his hands. Benjamin, you also see that he's missing 2 fingers, and he'll say, "Keep quiet." He'll mime with his mouth the quiet part.
Shallan says,
And he will also motion to Buhd to like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. And he will lift up his sleeve and reveal like the magical mark. Benjamin, feel free to roll a clever, I guess, difficulty 4 to realize what Shallan means. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is gesturing madly towards his arm and gesturing for you to shut up.
I just look at Meridian and I hope she understood, I guess.
I will roll her careful. She also does not know. Okay. She similarly looks confused towards you, but also keeps her mouth shut. Go ahead.
we no talk. This is hard.
Shallan will like stumble over his words. You see he is uncharacteristically like panicking a little bit. He will say, this is people will know. People will know. Yes. The walls have ears. Yes, that's a saying that humans have ears. The walls have ears. And in this case, and he frantically points at his arm, the walls have ears.
Do you have ears, Shallan?
You see a look of fear on Shallan's face, since he realizes that you do not understand what he means.
We all have ears, Benjamin.
Yeah, then what's the deal about wolves having ears? Like, of course they do.
Shallan, Bud has idea. Go make castle, and Bud tell Benjamin.
Yes, he will thumbs you up. He will thumbs you up, and then motion for you to be silent while he runs away.
Okay.
Okay.
Shallan
runs away.
Okay, but smart. Shallan has people listening from hand. Big people, and the big people. Bladebeard, he go to see those big people with magic soap.
Big people like ogres?
Magic
No,
soap?
no. They the people who take who Shallan they capture Shallan and Bladebeard earlier, and Bladebeard go back to them
Am I hearing
using
this
magic
right?
soap.
Am I hearing this right, Benjamin? Would he really be that stupid?
He go
unfortunately,
with heads. We collect heads, and he take the heads, and he take the soap, and he go poof, and he gone, and Shallan says he's in big trouble because they could hear everything from his arm.
I kind of just stand there with my mouth just open.
The Archmage has a scared look on her face. Yeah.
And Shallan can't be nearby when we talk about big secrets now because he has magic on him that does that.
So, are you telling me that Bladebeard barely escaped out of there, and then he just went right back in of his own volition?
Yes, that's what he do. He take heads to do that. Captain not very smart.
The Archmage face palms.
Well, any ideas, Captain Buhd?
Oh well, Bud was gonna see nice gnome lady, and you guys. What Bud already talked to you guys, so Bud talking to yeah.
At this point, that's probably the best solution.
Let's just hope she's not busy today.
Okay. Do you guys head in the direction of Kyrie's quarters?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me put the thing on screen. Where is it? Yeah. You are greeted by the familiar sight of this person who bars your way. Captain's
Hello.
busy. Captain's busy.
This it pretty urgent.
Did you murder someone again? She says to the Archmage. The Archmage looks offended.
No, but someone probably gonna get murdered if we no see nice gnome lady.
I'm the security chief. You can tell me.
Okay. Well, Bladebeard used magic soap to see people who want him dead.
The undead will look at you with a blank expression, which is her usual expression, but you do take it to mean that she has no idea what you're talking about. The Archmage, frustrated, will say, we need to talk with the captain. To be perfectly frank, it's not an issue that you can solve. And the undead will say, Captain's busy, and she will put a hand on her sword, like ready to unsheath it if need be. Not to be disturbed. Orders straight from her.
Bud is going to yell really loud because friend is gonna die. So you let Bud in or Bud start yelling.
Feel free to yell.
Let us in! Let us in right now! Let us in! Let us in!
Can I
Bud just start smacking on the walls.
Well, she will not she will not let you approach the walls. Go ahead, DoomGoblin.
Yeah,
Well, the
I
walls
just
nearby,
want to...
like not the actual the ship has walls all around.
Okay. Everyone turns to look at you like, what the hell are you doing? DoomGoblin, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I just want to remind my fellow players that Teeironor has no fate points, and if you find out the aspects of any NPC, you can... they have to listen to your compels, right?
technically speaking, I would have fate points because it's a different scene, but because of the interesting circumstances, I will say that yes, I have no fate points. Just for this specific circumstance, but yeah.
Oh, alright.
So yeah, for this specific circumstance, because of the potential fun factor, I do not have fate points.
Oh, I'm just gonna be smacking on the walls saying that over and over because I don't have the voice for that.
Yeah, everyone is looking at you like, what the hell is going on? And the undead lady is not budging, nor do you see anything like come out from Kyrie's quarters.
How did the whole trying to find out aspects thing work?
Yeah, basically usually you will roll careful unless you can think of another way to like find something out about a person, and yeah, you tell me who are you trying to find something out? Yeah, from whom are you trying to find something about?
I mean, I guess the who is pretty obvious, and I can just try to.
Let me open
know.
her character sheet to like set the difficulty first. To like see what her aspects would be.
We already have a first mate. His 2 aspects.
Yeah,
The
but
rifle.
he is not on the scene at the moment. For Vera, difficulty 2 to learn her high concept, or one of her secondary aspects. Difficulty 4 to learn something more interesting about her.
So it's a careful roll, right?
Yes, unless you can think of a way to use a different stat to learn something about her.
I mean, it's better for me careful, to be honest.
Go ahead then, please. Yeah, you will learn either her high concept or one of her secondary stats. I leave it up to you.
Can I use a fate point?
Feel free to. What are you invoking?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. um, hmm. I guess I could maybe.
I should also say, if you like, use your fate point and like learn the more interesting stuff about her, and like that's revealed to you. That's not only revealed to you like an aspect that you learn about that you can use, but you're also able to like your character also knows that stuff basically, and you're able to bring it up in conversation. Is what I mean. Make sense?
Yeah. Maybe I'll go with venturing sellsword, like maybe through adventuring I have like met all kinds of people, so I know
Yeah.
certain details.
Definitely makes sense, yeah. I will remind you that you used Adventuring Sellsword at one point to improve your roll on waking someone up. So yes, this is, yeah, very easy. Okay. With level 4, I can give you her trouble or another of her secondary aspects that's related to her trouble.
I guess the trouble.
Okay. Let me type that on screen. And you get a free invoke on this. You notice, you can see it right here. You notice several scars on her, and well, you obviously assume that being a undead meant that she had to like die at one point, and she looks somewhat young. Feel free to come to your own conclusions, but you are able to like come to the conclusion that because of how guarded and reserved she is and how she never talks about herself, this would be a sore subject for her.
I'm just trying to think how that would be useful.
This isn't just, by the way, a Farmshire thing. You guys are also free to like consult with each other.
Yeah, I think everyone is blacked out.
Yeah. I also don't have any fate points left to compel her, so
That too, I guess.
Again, this isn't necessarily if you can think of some of a way to compel her to your advantage. It's also something you can bring up in conversation.
Well, any idea when the captain will not be busy?
Vera shrugs and she will say, Captain says she's busy and asked me to guard the door. I guard the door until she's not.
Above board, do her quarters have windows?
We established that no, they do not.
I uh, I grab the archmage by the arm and walk away a bit from the scene.
Everyone's distracted looking at Bud screaming and pounding. But Vera is watching you as you leave suspiciously, and her hand is still on her sword, but she's also eyeing Bud at the same time. Bud is also free to try to discover her aspects, by the way, but feel free to talk with the Archmage.
Do you think you can teleport us inside from the outside of the boat? I know it's kind of an invasion of privacy, but this is kind of an urgent thing.
Well, circumstances are dire, so she will close her eyes and grab you by the arm and focus for a little bit, and she will, after a few seconds, open her eyes in surprise and say, "The quarters are warded, magically so. Nothing can teleport in. How did I not notice this before?"
Well, I guess she is the dragon after all.
Bud stops yelling it because his throat's starting to hurt, and he walks over to them.
Oh, Bud, try his best. Oh, but throat hurt.
Yeah, I don't really see a way. We'll get inside without having to literally break some skulls, which I'd rather not do.
Maybe we try busting in.
Yeah, and then you'll have a sword up your ass. So,
Bud always have that happen. Bud can distract while you guys go in.
yeah, I remember how your last distraction went.
Yeah, good times.
After the session, I will tell you how I think you could have used her trouble, but go ahead with your plans.
Okay, so this is what Bud gonna do. Bud gonna steal undead lady's hat, and then Bud run away with it, and then you guys go in.
I'm sorry to ruin your plan, but I'm sure she wouldn't move.
Okay, Bud pick her up and run with her.
You'll probably be stabbed multiple times.
Knockout spell?
The Archmage will say, "That's unfortunately more the domain of priests than mages."
It's tough.
The Archmage will say, if push comes to shove, this is an urgent situation. We can probably take her on by herself, but not if the rest of the crew jumps in."
Well, she is the second mate after all. I would assume at least Grunvas will jump in.
I don't see Grunvesk.
Well, I'm sure the
Can't mages turn people into sheep?
I can't, but that would definitely be a hostile act that would be noticed by everyone
Anything we
outside.
do is gonna... Isn't anything we do gonna be hostile?
The Archmage will sigh and say, "So was that our plan?"
I'm honestly not sure. That could either go perfectly or very wrong.
Well, Buhd getting antsy.
Well, we can't just stay here if Bladebeard's in mortal danger.
Why do we even care about Bladebeard?
Well,
Let's do it,
he
I
Bud's
guess.
captain and friend.
So,
The Archmage has a look of shock when you say that, Benjamin.
I kinda said this sarcastically, not literally. Like, as in, no, it's just trouble.
Yeah, but she doesn't read sarcasm well.
Fair enough. So, let's do it like this. You'll turn her into a sheep. Buhd will ram into the door. We'll get inside. I think that should be simple enough.
That sounds good to Buhd. Buhd good
Probably
doing that.
beaten up or something worse, but I really don't see a better option.
If there's no other option, well, after I do that, and Buhd rams the door, I can put up a wall of frost to keep the rest of the crew away, but it obviously will not hold indefinitely.
That would buy us some much needed time.
Above board, I don't have a token ready for like a sheep, by the way. But I will go with theater of the mind that Vera would be turned into a sheep. Is this the plan that you guys are setting up on?
Well, I guess so. This will go horribly, but I guess so.
Okay, the Archmage will say, if there's no other option, should I try to do this sneakily? How should we do this?
Well,
If she notices my spell casting and she rushes me before I complete it, she will not get polymorphed.
Maybe Buhd
Oh.
distract her.
how long does the spell take to cast?
Above board, I would say like a round in quote-unquote combat, but she would probably say 4 to 5 seconds, let's say. Not too much, but she's clearly trained for battle. She would be able to stop me if she noticed, or if she... yeah.
Well, I think we'll have to rely on our distractions, but
The Archmage looks towards Buhd expectantly.
I'll stay here if it's necessary to step in to avoid someone getting stabbed.
So what Buhd doing?
Distracting.
Okay, Buhd go do that.
Above board, Buhd, feel free to like roleplay your distraction, but well, actually roleplay your distraction first, and then we'll see what you roll. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Vera was eyeing your group the whole time, and as like you two break and like go in separate directions, she looks very suspicious in your direction, in all of your direction. With her hands still
hello.
on her sword. Go ahead.
Hello, dead lady. You gonna let us in?
Captain's busy.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
This is the DM laughing, not her. She will say, she will say, I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. But
Why?
yeah, roll your flashy in difficulty. It will be difficulty 4 because she knows that something's up. But unlike me, you do have fate points. So yeah, flashy roll. Okay. With a 4, you get a charge on an advantage that the Archmage can use in her spell.
Okay.
If you want to like improve that roll, if you get free above 4, so like 7 or above, there will be 2 charges for the advantage for the Archmage. It's up to you.
Okay. So, can I guess, do that with a fate point?
Yeah.
Like a +2?
It would need to be 7 or above for that. So you'd have to spend 2 fate points or reroll. It's up to you.
I'll spend 2 fate points.
What are you invoking?
I am. Let's see. What will be a good distracting? Let me look at my good old. First mate. Pirate first mate. Because Buhd, you know how good Buhd was distracting? All the first episode.
True. Makes sense. That's 1 down. This is the advantage, by the way, unless you want to call it something else.
I think that's fine, unless you want to call it Y.
Yeah, actually, I'll call it Y. that sounds better.
I admittedly did not have a distracted plan, so I kind of just rolled with whatever.
It was a good idea. I can't wait to see that mission animated. But yeah, you're now down up to 6. It needs to be 7 or above for it to be 2 charges that the Archmage can use.
I could always use another fate point.
Yes, and I would ask you to justify it. For an aspect to justify it.
What would be another good aspect?
By the way, a question about polymorphing. What qualifies what gets transformed? As in, would my head transform? Would the sword I'm holding transform? How does that really work?
Interesting question. Basically, everything on her is transformed into the sheep. Feel free to come up with your own judgment on how that works, because it's not like stated in the lore. But there's basically the only like exact rules on polymorphing are that you should not polymorph something into something that's more intelligent. So don't polymorph Vero into a dragon, or like a sheep into a human, or something like that. Going by D&D rules, by Dungeons and Dragons rules, polymorphing...
Is there a reason why for that, or is it just a like ethics thing?
There is a reason in that for like polymorphing, not polymorphing into something more intelligent, in that once the creature like reverts to its original form, it retains at least part of that intelligence.
Interesting.
Oh, so you can make
why would you
somebody...
not turn yourself into a dragon so you get smarter?
Yeah.
Basically because the Teeironor outlaws that, because not only does it like make you more intelligent, but the results will be very, very unpredictable. And it's not only just say turning a mosquito into a sheep, just for example's sake. Not only would the mosquito get smarter, it would also be stuck with like some of the instincts of the sheep, which would not be applicable to the mosquito, if that makes sense. Going into the theory of polymorphing, which is only referenced in like one in-game book in Wrath of the Lich King. But yeah, going by D&D rules on polymorphing, which obviously are not canon to the Warcraft universe, but if you want to like take that into account, basically, while you are polymorphed, you have the intelligence of whatever you're polymorphed into, and you basically are able to act like Vera would still, if she were polymorphed into a sheep, she would still think, I need to stop them, but would not be able to take like an intelligent action, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Complicated
She
discussion.
can still attack you as a sheep.
Yeah, but it's a sheep, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, well, in D&D it also has to like roll to see if it remembers its original objective. It's complicated, which is and not necessarily canon to WoW. But yeah, Bud, sorry. Do you improve your roll further by invoking another aspect?
Yes. Heavy weapons expert, as in, like when you have big weapons, you could, fire them and they could be like explosive and dazzling, like fireworks.
Yeah, but
Or
how
something.
does that relate to the current situation?
Isn't that distracting?
That's not how you're distracting though.
Um,
Unless you like want to word in that you're like flashing your cannon or something.
I mean, he could totally like, do a spin trick with his cannon on the floor,
I will accept that.
just randomly.
I will accept that if that's okay with you.
Okay, that's what Bud's doing now. After, the wise, he just randomly puts his can down the ground and spins it.
Okay. You are very distracting and the Archmage gets 2 charges. Okay. Let me think. Vera would oppose with her careful. Well, first I would have the Archmage. Well, actually, I want to run this by you guys first. The Archmage rolls sneaky and Vera rolls careful to see if she's noticed. Any objections? The Archmage has a poor sneaky and Vera has a high careful. Counter arguments, objections?
Is there any way I can give Meridia an advantage?
Yeah, you can give her a +1, but justify it to me. How would you be helping her?
Probably like standing in a way, like covering her up. Kind of.
Makes sense, makes sense, makes sense. Okay, she'll get a +1 on her roll. So, is it agreeable that she'll roll sneaky and be opposed by Vera's careful? I will say that even if Vera succeeds, the polymorph might still go off. It's just that she notices and then she'll have the opportunity to roll quick to oppose. Make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So first, rolling the Archmage's sneaky, rather. Well, actually, what's the Archmage's sneaky? I was about to roll her careful. Humdy-dum. Oh, her sneaky is worse. Lovely. Okay. -1 with a +1 from you assisting her. Now let's roll for Vera. Okay. If she uses both of these Ys, it would be a tie. I think she'll use both. And a tie I think would be sufficient for the overcome. Okay. Suddenly, Vera is looking at you, Bud, while you're being distracting, and she'll say, "Look, can you just..." And suddenly, just like that, she's turned into a sheep. And the Archmage rushes forward. The entire crew of the ship recoils in shock because they were staring at the scene. Benjamin, Bud, what are you guys doing?
I just say, Bud rushed to the door.
And Bud?
Okay, bye, sheep.
Let me roll a generic sheep careful to see if Vera remembers that she's supposed to stop you. No, she does not remember. She looks confused and does not stop anyone as you go past. Because of the surprise, you will be unopposed. Bud, can you give me a forceful difficulty 2 to see if you manage to break down the door, if that's what you're trying to do?
Yes, Bud is going for a smash.
Okay, roll for me a forceful, please. Okay, you manage to break down the door. The crewmen are starting to mobilize, and the Archmage will erect a shield of frost, a wall of frost, to keep the people away. Let's see how good she does. Okay, the wall of frost will survive for 2 turns. Well, actually, so basically like 10 seconds, but let's say 20 seconds for like the sake of argument. Okay, Buhd manages to break the door open. What do you guys do? The Archmage is maintaining the ice wall. She says, "Go, go."
Buhd goes in.
Benjamin, do you also go?
Just look at Meridian and say, are you sure you'll be fine?
Just go already. Get Kyrie to calm everyone down.
I guess I'll go then.
Okay. Inside you will see Kyrie, who's sitting down in one of her chairs, in her gnome form. She will turn to you and look very, very, very frustrated. And she'll say, "I told Vera not to let anyone in." And you will see that she is talking to a projection of someone. And that projection is this gentleman.
Oh, hey.
And I think that's a good point to end the episode.
Oh, wow. That's the cliffhanger.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was honestly expecting Jaina since we had that conversation the other day, but I guess Khadgar is a good appearance too.
I have a reason why.
Khadgar is definitely more. Oh, it's kind of like leading into Warlords almost. That's kind of interesting.
In a way, I do have a reason for why it's Khadgar and not. Well, I wouldn't say that Jaina makes the most sense. I think the most sense would be Ansarum Runeweaver, but yeah, I do have reasons in mind. In short. So yeah.
Guess we'll find out next week.
Pretty much. Thoughts on today's session? Probably one of my favorites, to be honest.
Yeah. Well,
And now 2 sessions in a row, or not in a row, but
Almost.
with a
in a
week's
row.
breaks, let's say.
Leave it to the Bladebeard.
Less smart than Buhd.
yeah. Well, yeah, I'm going to say that I had a sort of a plan before we started the episode, and it didn't really work the way I I hoped for, obviously. And yeah,
I
I
think you trusted the Mafia boss way
Yeah,
too
I-
much.
I underestimated him. He's yeah.
You're not dead at the very least.
Yeah, I guess he has a very large brain.
I just find it funny that he went back expecting, oh, I'm gonna be welcomed in open arms. They're gonna give me some tea and honey, and
Yeah.
I'm genuinely curious. Best case scenario, DoomGoblin, Bladebeard. What was the best case scenario for you?
So alright, the mage cannot teleport on a location. She doesn't know the exact
Coordinates.
core. Yeah. So best case scenario, I get teleported to the tower. I give him the heads, and I get teleported back to the island.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Was that worth bothering? But let's say hypothetically, she could teleport based on a description, even though it conflicts with existing lore. What then?
Yeah, but Bladebeard doesn't know that. So yeah, he would try to convince them to teleport him and his allies. So I guess Pandaren, Buhd, Benjamin, to his ship, and then they kill the witch and they bring him back the artifact that she has, that Lord Roswell thinks she has, right?
Yeah.
That I would try to convince him that, we do that. But obviously I wouldn't do that. I would just kill the witch and stay on my ship.
Well, even if hypothetically, like, the tracking thing wasn't also a transmitter, and if teleportation actually worked that way, that would still be a pretty difficult sell to Lord Roswell, and yeah. you'd have to do quite a bit of convincing to get him to accept that plan.
Yeah, also the mage woman would go with us, and then after we are done with the witch, we would kill her. And yeah, everything's fine.
Well, even in that case, you. I'll let you know right now that one of Lord Roswell's aspects is you can never be too careful. And you can see why.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's definitely like his main character trait.
No, it's not his high concept, but yeah.
No,
Uh,
yeah, I guess.
one of my aspects should be you can never be more stupid.
that
Yeah,
can be your
I agree.
trouble,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's very. I honestly, I keep getting reminded by how often Bladebeard is dumber than Buhd, and it's like, oh, how did what?
I mean, he didn't know that they were listening in on what they were saying.
I
So
mean,
Well, still, you barely got alive last
It-
time, so just
If
coming
Buhd
back.
was in the same situation as this guy, Buhd would not want to go back there because that place would make Buhd feel uncomfortable.
no, but Blaber doesn't think that he barely survived. It was pretty easy. He just
Well,
made
that was
them.
pretty.
He just lied a bit, and they let him go.
Where did Lion get him this time?
Well, he's still alive. So yeah.
Yeah, and he's the main part of. Well, yeah, he's the main part of the future trap that Lord Roswell plans to spring for you guys.
Wonderful.
yeah,
So much for leaving Golden Skull this episode.
yeah.
Well, you might.
I really want to advocate for it. Like, I was gonna have like Buhd, like, come on, let's go. I want to go help out the troll god because he gives me a memory back. But then Bladebeard was like, I'm gonna go teleport out. So I was like, all right,
You definitely,
that's the episode.
you definitely have a knack of derailing things, Bladebeard. Not necessarily in a bad way, but yeah, in an interesting way.
Definitely in a Bladebeard way.
Very much so. Very much so. I'm also.
But yeah, I'm not worried. They are going to come and save me. We are going to take over his castle, and everything's gonna be fine.
Lord Benjamin of Westfold, I can already see it.
Oh, Lord. I need to do a lot more prep
Maybe
work.
maybe that weird dream will come true after all, but instead of Stormwind, it's Westfold. Who knows?
I need to do quite a bit more prep work for Lord Roswell's ambush. Even if you guys decide not to spring it. Yeah. Fun. Also, this was one of my favorite episodes because we used the mechanics that Fate is good for, basically. With aspects and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Buhd took a bunch of aspects from eating skin, so
Yeah. Very much so.
I don't know how Thompshire is going. I imagine he's just gonna have like Buhd like turn around and do the eating animation or something
Yeah,
for
it's,
both of these.
I'd say, for example, the skin part, it would
Yeah.
be completely cut off and then just have a line mentioning how you weight them or something.
Or you could do like a cartoonish, just throw a head up and then eat it.
Or just like make the camera focus on Bladebeard and have the lines be the same. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just have a very disgusted face because you have a lot more work with like Bladebeard and everyone else when it comes to expressions.
Well, we're already kind of doing that for episode 2 because in episode 2 is the first time you start eating heads and such.
I can't believe that was such an early on thing.
Yeah, and his troll friends. God bless his soul.
The troll friends were wholesome. They taught Buhd how to do the thumbs up.
He didn't know that before.
Well, didn't
Well-
he teach the troll the thumbs up?
I don't remember.
Because I think so.
I
It
think
was either or.
I think he taught the trolls. Yeah.
Okay, so he taught the trolls the thumbs up. All right, that's still sad.
Yeah. Can I just say, Farmshire? I know what you DM me, but I want to say that I absolutely love the model you made for Vera. the security chief.
You cut off.
I love the
yeah.
model you made for Vera, the security chief.
Yeah, it has a lot of personality, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Like lack of personality, I guess. You know.
Yeah. And by the way, I promised to tell you guys how, in your situation, how I would have used the trouble. I would have used it to basically instigate her to fight you guys, but because she attacked you, the rest of the crew won't assist her. Make sense?
I guess.
I guess.
Since she's the second mate, I guess wouldn't the crew always take her back?
Yeah, but if you basically if you would have addressed her past and said the right trigger words, she would have gone into a bloodthirsty rage, not into a assist me crew members.
Okay.
In short,
Is there a trigger word, Sylvanus?
I cannot say that.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was. She is undead,
Who knows?
but she's not forsaken.
Maybe have a Buhd whisper in her ear, just say bitch, and she's like, Sylvanus.
I don't know if Bud would say the B word. You'd have to teach Bud some swears, to be honest with you.
Fair enough.
Oh, if he didn't learn any swear words from 5 years with Bladebeard and pirates, I don't think he'll
I'm sure
ever learn.
he knows a few sailor swears, of course, but I don't know if Bud would repeat them constantly.
Yeah. But yeah, I also like this session. Basically the troll lower info dumping on you was something I wanted to do in not the previous session, but the one before Bladebeard teleported himself. In the session where we plan for the next sessions. Yeah, so the Loa inform you that the Horde isn't really focusing on the demons, but rather it's searching for you, and the demons are 2 weeks away from the trolls.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how it just showed up in our dream, and we kind of just didn't say anything, so it just left.
Well, he asked you some questions, you kind of just shrugged in reply. He gave you some info, you kind of just shrugged in reply, and he said, "Fuck you guys, I'm leaving then."
Bud was
I
the
know, it's
only
just
one
kind of
answering
funny
him,
to me
really.
how we kind of just hung up a call on a god, essentially.
Yeah, I should mention, because I have been working behind the scenes quite a lot on the sea travel mechanics. It might be very useful to have a Loa of the storms on your side when traveling through the sea.
That is a fair point.
Something to keep in mind for 20 episodes from now when we leave Golden Skull.
I think that's a very nice estimate.
Yeah. I also loved your reaction, DoomGoblin, when Shallan and Bud were having the conversation and Shallan was telling Bud about the thing.
Yeah, I was like, oh no. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I knew that before.
Yeah, but it's also in character for Shallan not to tell you, because there have been times in the past where he has not told you guys crucial info.
And I think the scene order for that was just perfect. Especially since you
yeah.
kind of gave us the choice, so we could have just ruined it making the wrong choice. Not ruin it, but you know.
Yeah, what are you referring to with the choice?
The Shallan revealing the tracker.
Oh,
transmission.
right.
Because I think it made for a better reveal having Shallan say to Buhd than have just the noble describing everything, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true, true. I suppose. It was, yeah, something I've been looking forward to. But let's just say, even if Bladebeard didn't teleport himself into the mouth of danger again, the noble would very much keep in mind what the transmitters have told him and would act accordingly. By the way, you should probably have a plan for Shallan. I imagine it would be pretty hard to like just tell him, stay away from us for like another week or so.
I mean, I guess we need the game plan first.
That you
Maybe
do.
we can have a Khadgar teleport us over to Westfall.
I will say it's a very good thing that Shallan was not there to transmit to the noble seeing Khadgar. I'll say that much. Yeah.
Well, I mean, as long as his name isn't mentioned, should be fine.
Well, I imagine Kyrie would introduce him before. Well, yeah, we'll see.
I'd say Kyrie would notice there would be something on Shallan, maybe?
Quite possibly. Also, you have definitely made an enemy of Vera. What else? What can I say?
You cut off again.
You definitely made an enemy of Vera, the undead.
Well, rip, I guess.
Yeah. And maybe Kyrie won't be very open to you guys either. We'll see. But yeah, definitely a very fun session and definitely one of my favorites. Any other thoughts?
Not really.
No. Why thing was pretty funny from
Yeah.
Buhd.
I think it will be funny when we get to the machinima, like in 10 years or something.
Yeah.
It definitely is also in very much in character for Vera to constantly reply to you with I don't know. Yeah. Should we go into our shoutouts?
Yeah, I
think
guess
so.
so.
Okay.
I'm first, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to
Uh,
say thank you to everyone for watching, listening. Yeah, let's have DoomGoblin shout out himself.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I am DoomGoblin. You can find me on the internet. You have all the links to my stuff on the screen.
And in the
And
description.
usually I draw stuff, some Warcraft related stuff usually. And I'm excited for the next episode of
Me-
this.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too, definitely. Thank you. And next would be Sir Farmshire.
I am Mr. Thompshire, and you can find me both on Twitter and YouTube. And as was mentioned at the beginning of the episode, I just posted the first episode of the Machinima adaptation of the series last week, or 2 weeks ago when this will be posted. So yeah, check it out, I guess. And yeah, I'm also excited to see what comes of Mr. Bladebeard after all of this.
You always manage to surprise me, DoomGoblin, I'll say that much. Skoll, could you
I
please...
thought that
Sorry.
that this wouldn't be that surprising. You surprised me.
I'm glad
This
at
time
least
you
for that.
surprised me.
I'm glad at least for that, what can I say? Skoll, the owner of the channel you guys, dear viewers, are watching on, could you please talk about yourself?
Yeah, of course. Well, you guys know me already. I do machinimas on here. I talk about lore sometimes. Over on Twitter, I do the same thing and also do some shit posts. And it's pretty fun and spectacular. And I got stuff coming up that I'm trying to work on. I got like what if Illidan destroyed the Lich King coming up? So that there's that.
That sounds very interesting, to be honest. I'll be sure to watch.
A lot bigger than what if Rexar was War Chief in comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both pretty world changing, but like definitely Illidan defeating Arthas and destroying the Lich King successfully is quite a lot happens.
I was about to ask something regarding that, but let's, dear viewers, watch the video. I'm not going to like ask Skoll for spoilers right now. Yeah. Anything else, Skoll?
I think that's it.
Okay. And I was your DM Game Master, Teeironor. I usually do Warcraft lore videos focusing on really niche topics, though I haven't really had time to make much of those in recent days. Yeah. I was looking at the date for something else. Yeah. That's about it for me. Thank you to everyone for watching and listening to us. We'll be back next week on Sir Farmshire's channel with another cliffhanger resolution. Fun. Thank you to everyone for watching. Goodbye, everyone.
See ya.
See ya.
Fire.